educate me? How did we violate the principle of separation of powers?
Have you ever pondered on the inner workings of the Philippine government? If so, you're not alone. Many are fascinated by the complex system that governs this archipelagic nation. The principle of separation of powers in the Philippines refers to the division of governmental responsibilities among three distinct branches: the executive, legislative, and judicial branches. The executive branch, with the president at its helm, is tasked with implementing and enforcing laws, managing the administrative machinery, and conducting foreign relations. This branch is the driving force behind the daily operations of the government, ensuring that laws are executed and public services are delivered. Next, we have the legislative branch, composed of the Senate and the House of Representatives. This branch is the heart of lawmaking, representing the interests of the people and overseeing the executive branch. It is their responsibility to enact laws that reflect the will and needs of the people they represent. Lastly, there's the judicial branch, led by the Supreme Court. This branch interprets laws, resolves disputes, and ensures that laws and government actions comply with the Constitution. They are the guardians of legal consistency, fairness, and the Constitution itself. Each of these branches has the power to check and balance the actions of the others. This system of checks and balances prevents any one branch from becoming overbearing or too powerful. For instance, the president can veto legislation passed by the Congress, but this veto can be overridden by the Congress. Similarly, the judiciary can declare laws and executive actions unconstitutional, serving as the ultimate check on the other branches. Furthermore, the judiciary operates independently from the executive and legislative branches, ensuring impartiality and fairness in interpreting and applying the law. This independence is crucial in maintaining the integrity of the judicial process and upholding the rule of law. The separation of powers also plays a vital role in protecting individual rights and establishing accountability. Each branch is responsible for its act and can be held accountable by the others. This system ensures that no single entity can infringe upon the rights of the citizens unchecked. In summary, the separation of powers in the Philippines promotes good governance, accountability, and the protection of individual rights. It ensures that the Constitution reigns supreme, guiding and limiting the actions of all branches of government. It upholds democratic principles by distributing power and creating a system of checks and balances. So, the next time you think about the Philippine government, remember the sophistication and balance that drives this system. The separation of powers does not just divide responsibilities, it creates a dynamic interplay of powers that keeps the government in check and protects the rights of its citizens.
For the record, it says, the principle of separation of powers is violated when one branch of government unduly encroaches in the domain of another. Jurisprudence provides that there are only two ways to violate the subject principle, namely, by impermissible interference with another department's performance and by assumption of another department's functions. Here, it is clear that the subpoena was not issued in aid of legislation and thus exceeds the legislative power of inquiry, and its issuance impermissibly interferes with the exclusive functions of the Commission on Audit and infringes upon the independence of the Commission. And then, first, Congress has no power to participate or otherwise take part in any audit process. Obtaining any information in a pending audit clearly does not serve a legislative purpose of drafting or remedying legislation. Second, the audit decisions which the committee seeks to obtain are in cases still pending adjudication and therefore not final, not conclusive, and cannot be used as a fair, accurate, or intelligent basis for legislation. Third, COA has already published its annual audit reports for fiscal year 2022 and 2023, which are specifically intended to aid the executive and legislative departments in crafting responsive laws and regulations. Fourth, the only purpose mentioned is to expose to the public the use of confidential funds by the offices headed by the Vice President and purportedly whether such use follow the guidelines. During the subject hearing, Representative Castro stated, since hindi po pwedeng sabihin dito yung findings, yung report o yung anumang observations ng COA, ang mga taong bayan po interesado dito sa confidential funds at kung paano ito ginamit, kung ito po ba ay sumunod dun sa guidelines. Also, as reported in the media, Representative Castro has been known to say that the Vice President has not yet satisfactorily explained the OVP spending of confidential funds in 2022. She added that the VP still has yet to account how she spent the said funds in 2023 and that she is not off the hook yet. End of quote. This is not related to any legislative purpose. There is no congressional power to expose for the sake of exposure. The determination of whether the utilization of the funds complied with audit guidelines falls within the exclusive mandate of the Commission on Audit. It cannot be overemphasized that COA has the exclusive power, authority, and duty to examine, audit, and settle all accounts pertaining to the revenue and receipts of, and expenditures or uses of funds and property. Constitutional framers envision the COA as a dynamic, effective, efficient, and independent watchdog of the government, and for this reason conferred upon it broad and extensive powers. Allowing a committee of the House of Representatives to subpoena audit decisions pertaining to an ongoing audit will only hamper the COA's performance of its duties. On the other hand, the determination as to the legality of confidential funds solely falls within the exclusive mandate of the judiciary. Clearly, therefore, Congress cannot infringe upon constitutional mandates vested upon other branches of the government.